can you find the fool? I'm right here. I'm taking you on the journey of how I made this Jester costume for only $. Why am I dressing like a fool, you ask? 6 months ago, I went to a Narnia Faire, not knowing what to expect. Suddenly, I'm surrounded by people in medieval clothing, talking to me in British accents, and inviting me to dance with them. When I got back home, I did what any normal person would have done, and immediately signed up to spend the next 6 months rereading all of the Narnia books, transforming myself into a medieval jester, and building a peddler's cart to sell my wares at the next fair. How did I make this costume for only $50? I started where every good project begins, the thrift store. I'm going to try to transform these into some type of medieval jester costume. I thought this one was so pretty. The back is actually kind of sheer. My favorite so far. It is a huge skirt. It has all these pleats. So I don't know if I should try to turn this into pants at $12.99, which for what it is, I think that's awesome. I just wanted to quickly go through that so that I could cut off these tags and wash them before I move on with my life. Now that those are washed and dried, here's my plan. I'm going to take the skirt and turn it into a pair of pants, make a vest out of something I haven't decided yet, any extra fabric we're using to build the hat, and I'm not sure what, but we will be making some type of shoes also. The skirt is too big, so I marked it where I need to take it in. I like that I can still use the other side with the closure because now I don't have to sew a closure. There's this lining inside that I wasn't sure what to do with and ended up shortening it but leaving it long enough to cover the weird zipper part. I cut this off because it was too long, and then this side that I cut off from the edge to make it fit me, I'm going to now sew this up. And it fits! Now I'm just folding it in half, using some pants that fit me well to mark where to start cutting, and cutting an arch type shape out for the legs. Okay, so now we're just gonna sew that. It is now sewed, let's try them on. In hindsight, I probably should have started a couple inches lower, but I think it'll work. We're gonna fold this up all the way around. I'm gonna sew this. We're gonna put a string through it and pull it tight instead of gathering. There you go. I just found out yesterday that I'm supposed to have my costume ready much sooner than I thought because they need to update the website soon because they're going to start announcing stuff. So I'm going to try to cram the rest of this costume in today. So we'll see what happens. I was trying to find something to go as a vest with these pants, and I forgot that I had this top that I had cut for another project. So I'm going to try to turn this into a vest. Thankfully, I had just gotten my order of rivets the day before, so with 1 day to finish my costume, why not try something I've never used before? Towels and thin cloth, no. Canvas, no. Etc., no. What am I gonna do? I bought this for cloth. I'm just gonna test it on some cloth and see what happens because I want to. Back side. I'm gonna just go ahead and cut these off and use this as my test. And somehow it did work on the fabric. Now to make this into a vest. I'm changing up my thread color so people can't see how bad my stitches are. Alright, there's the sleeve that we cut off. Just cut a slit right here. And I'm gonna just fold all of this under. And so if this comes up with a V at the bottom, I'm okay with that because no one's gonna see it. I'm gonna start at the top and go down. I'm just gonna cut a couple little. You may have noticed that I didn't pin this. That's because I'm just kind of pulling it into shape, and I think it's all right so far. Go from the other side, which is always hard. There we go. There's the sleeve. I'm going to hem the bottom up. So that's just what I did. Now we're going to do these insides. But the main idea is that I want to do this and that. And I'll just kind of iron it flat. Eek. So then the collar is still there, but it'll look like that at the top. This is not right. This is going this way and this is also going this way. What did I do? You know what? I'm a jester. It's supposed to look weird. I don't know if I should tear or not tear.
Because it almost looks like it's supposed to be this. What is this?
A jester vest.
Yeah, so it's totally fine.
Perfect.
That's just like odd, you know?
Now we're gonna mark where all the holes are gonna be. Okay, so 1 1/4. Do. That on top. Okay, it's not the most beautiful thing on the inside, but it's still in the fabric, which is nice. And okay, there's one side done. On to the second half. Look at that. This is awesome. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. I'm actually very, very happy with it. And now it's time for how not to make a jester hat. Make a couple of triangles out of these, flip one upside down. I decided to curve it a little bit. Will this be weird, sewing two completely different types of fabrics together? Yes. Is it wise? No. But I am a fool. That's the whole point of this. This barely fit, so I was going to put this elasticy bit. Okay, I have now attached this and I'm going to try it on my head. Okay, so that did not work and I seam ripped the whole thing out. I'm just going to pull these in and add a ribbon. Here we are now. This will tie together at the back. Let's try it on. Okay, that did not work either, and so now I've cut the ribbon off. I'm going to completely close it off, and then if I have to add a strap at the front so there's more fabric, I will try that. I'm going to sew this extra piece of fabric all the way around. The back of it hangs down. I like that. And I'm going to pull it like up here, and I think I can tie. It'll fit kind of like one of those 90 things. Okay, this is what we've ended up with on the front. Here's the back. This will tie around my hair. And yes, I put some extra fabric in there just to hold it up better. Yeah, I love that. That's perfect. I got these shoes for $5 at the thrift store, and I'm just going to put fabric on top of it to try to make it work. I'm not even going to try to explain this because there's probably a better way to do it, but I mean, I sewed it together and then we're going to try to glue it. I've tacked this at the bottom. I've slit cuts in the top of this, and we're going to fold them over and sew this through the machine. Figure something out here. Well, looks like I get to use my rivets again. So I'm gonna try to glue these shoes together and see what happens. And even if they're horrible, I think I'm just gonna still wear them because I'm so done with this project. And for most of my show, I'm gonna be taking my shoes off, so I'm not too worried about the shoes. So I'm just walking around my house dressed like a jester, hoping that none of my neighbors want to take their dog for a walk for the next 20 minutes. And I'm gonna test out these Jester pants and see if I can walk on the slack line without, I don't know, the pants interfering with it. So there you go, that's how I made this costume, and this is just part one of my preparing for the Narnia Faire series. I've also built a peddler's cart, and I put together a show for being a jester. And then there's my backstory video, and I might have a few coming out or already out, stuff that I made to sell at the fair. Okay, so I bought the white shirt that I wore underneath. I bought the shirt that I made the vest out of. I bought the rivets to make the vest. I bought the skirt to make the pants. I bought the shoes. All the rivets and extra fabric I already paid for, and then all the fabric for the hat I already have. So the total comes to, so there you go. Okay, bye. Starts where all good stories, good projects begin. Who am I talking to? Who could I be imagining in my head that might be watching this? Dun, 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 dun.